Do you ever feel trapped? Like you're constantly chasing something that's always just out of reach, weighed down by expectations and the quiet fear of losing what you have. We're swimming in a sea of notifications, in a culture that screams more, with this relentless pressure to build a life, a career, an identity, and then cling to it for dear life. It's a silent weight, a constant, low-level hum of anxiety that's become the soundtrack to modern life. But what if the secret to real freedom wasn't about getting more, but about letting go of everything? Imagine deciding to walk away from it all and follow an ancient Buddhist path because you feel overwhelmed, anxious, and completely stuck. You might expect to find emptiness, a void where your ambition and relationships used to be. Instead, you could find a profound inner peace you never knew was possible. You could discover that cutting attachments doesn't sever you from the world. It connects you to it in a way you never imagined. First, let's talk about the problem, the invisible cage so many of us are living in. In Buddhism, this prison is built from something called upadana, which translates to attachment or clinging. Now, this isn't just about liking nice things or loving the people in your life. It's a deeper, more desperate kind of grasping. It's letting our jobs define our worth, needing a relationship to feel whole, clinging to our opinions to feel right, or betting all our happiness on some future outcome. Buddhism teaches that this exact clinging is the main cause of dukkha, or suffering. And it makes sense, right? When you're attached to a specific outcome, getting that promotion, making a relationship last forever, your plans unfolding exactly as you imagined, your happiness becomes this fragile, conditional thing. It all depends on things you can't really control. This is where so much of our anxiety comes from. It's the fear of loss, the sting of failure, and the dread of uncertainty. We get so attached to the idea of how things should be that we can't find any peace in how they are. On a psychological level, this constant state of clinging keeps our nervous systems on high alert. We're always fixated on the future, running endless what-if scenarios in our heads, trying to prevent pain and lock down pleasure. Our self-worth gets all tangled up with our achievements and what we own. A dip in website traffic, an unexpected bill, a critical comment from a friend. These little things can feel like personal attacks because they threaten the things we're attached to, the very pillars of the identity we've worked so hard to build. Perhaps this is your story. From the outside, you might have it all: a good job, a loving partner, and a life that looks pretty successful. But inside, you feel a crushing weight. You're terrified of underperforming at work, of your relationship failing, of your life just not living up to its potential. Every time you achieve a goal, the relief only lasts a second before a new, bigger goal takes its place. You're running on a treadmill of your own making, and you're completely exhausted. Your prison isn't made of bars, it's made of your own attachments. You might be clinging so tightly to your life that you aren't actually living it. So, when you first hear about the Buddhist idea of non-attachment, your gut reaction might be, no thanks. It can sound cold, sterile, and just inhuman. Give up your ambitions, stop caring about your relationship, become some passionless robot who just floats through life with a shrug. This is one of the biggest myths about non-attachment. So many of us hear the term and picture a life without love, joy, or real connection. But here's what you are about to discover, and it's the key to this whole idea. Non-attachment is not detachment. It isn't about being emotionally cold or apathetic. It's not about rejecting the world or pushing away the people you love. In fact, it's the exact opposite. Non-attachment is a more profound, purer way of engaging with everything and everyone in your life. It's the practice of experiencing things fully, loving deeply, and chasing your goals with passion, but without the desperate, fearful clinging. Think of it this way. Imagine you're trying to hold a river in your hands. If you cup your hands tightly and try to trap the water, to own it, the water just stagnates. You're left with this constant anxiety of it slipping through your fingers. That's attachment. But what if you just dip your hands into the river? You feel the cool, life-giving current flow over them, and you appreciate it for the beautiful, moving force that it is, without trying to possess it. That is non-attachment. You get to experience the river more fully, more joyfully. Non-attachment is being able to love someone with your entire heart, but without needing them to be a certain way to make you happy. It's the freedom to work toward a goal with everything you've got, but without letting your self-worth get destroyed if you fail. As the teacher Tilopa told his student Naropa, appearances don't bind you, your attachment does. The world isn't the problem is how our minds cling to it. This isn't about giving up on what you want. It's about letting your desires come from a place of genuine expansion, not from a place of ego, fear, or control. When you start to get this, a little bit of light can break into your prison. You realize this path isn't asking you to destroy your life, but to simply release your grip on it, so you can finally feel it. So, what actually happens when you start to loosen that white-knuckled grip? What will you find on the other side of all that fear? You won't find an empty void. You'll find a space filled with a quiet, unshakable peace you may not have felt since you were a kid. This is the profound why of non-attachment, the incredible freedom it gives you. Spiritually, letting go of clinging is the direct path to what Buddhists call nirvana, the end of suffering. It's the end of the frantic chase. When you release your craving for things to be permanent in a world that is, by its very nature, impermanent, you step off the roller coaster of emotional highs and lows. You stop being a slave to your circumstances. This isn't some mystical, far-off state. It's a real, tangible shift in your moment-to-moment experience. It's the ability to stand in the middle of a storm and feel a sense of calm at your core, because your happiness no longer depends on whether the sun is shining. The psychological effects are just as powerful. Non-attachment helps you find a deep inner peace, because it dials down your emotional reactivity. When you aren't clinging to outcomes, you're less shaken by life's inevitable ups and downs. That fear of loss, which fuels so much of our anxiety, starts to dissolve. You begin to see that your sense of self is not your job, your relationship status, or your list of accomplishments. This starts to dismantle the ego's defenses, the need to be right, the fear of looking foolish, the constant comparison with others. All these ego-driven anxieties just start to lose their power over you. You might start to feel this in small ways at first. Imagine a major project at work that you'd poured your heart into is suddenly cancelled. In the past, you might have spiraled into self-doubt and anger, seeing it as a direct reflection of your own failure. But this time, something could be different. You'd feel a pang of disappointment for sure. Non-attachment doesn't mean you stop feeling things, but underneath it, there would be a quiet space. You could observe the disappointment without becoming it. You could recognize you'd done your best, and the outcome was simply out of your control. You might feel a sense of freedom you've never known. You wouldn't be crushed. You would be okay. This is what happens. You create space. Space between you and your thoughts, between you and your emotions, between your true self and the stories your mind tells you. In that space, you don't find emptiness. You find clarity, resilience, and a deep, lasting peace that comes from within, not from the world outside. You start to live life with an open hand, rather than a clenched fist. This all sounds great in theory, but you're probably thinking, okay, but how do I actually do this? It's not like flipping a switch. Non-attachment is a practice, a gradual retraining of the mind. It's a journey that you can take one step at a time. So, how can you start? Here's a simple roadmap. Step 1. Just notice your attachments. The whole journey begins with awareness. You can't let go of a chain you don't even know you're wearing. The first step is to simply start noticing your moments of clinging, anxiety, or possessiveness, without any judgment. When you check your phone, are you clinging to the hope of a message from a certain person? When you finish a project, are you clinging to the need for praise? When you think about the future, are you clinging to one specific vision of it? Don't try to change anything at first, just watch. This simple act of mindful observation creates a tiny but powerful space between you and your attachments, which immediately starts to reduce their power. Step 2. Actively embrace impermanence. A core reason we cling is that we operate under the illusion that things are permanent. We want the good times to last forever, and we think our identities are set in stone. The practice here is to gently and consistently reflect on the temporary nature of everything. This isn't meant to be sad, it's meant to be liberating. Look at a beautiful sunset and, instead of feeling sad that it's ending, appreciate its fleeting beauty even more because it's temporary. When you feel a moment of joy, soak it in without trying to bottle it up. When you feel pain, gently remind yourself, this too shall pass. When you really start to internalize that everything is always in flux, your mind's tendency to cling starts to relax on its own. Step 3. Practice loving without owning. This is where you can transform your relationships. You could call this compassionate detachment, the art of loving people fully, but without the chains of ownership or fear. It's about honoring the independence of others and loving them for who they are, not for the role they play in your life or the needs they fill for you. In your own relationships, you can start to practice this by focusing on giving love without expecting a specific reaction. You can stop seeing your partner as someone who completes you and start seeing them as a whole, separate person on their own journey. And paradoxically, this doesn't create distance. It creates a deeper, more authentic connection built on freedom and mutual respect, not on neediness. You let go of expectations and just appreciate the person in front of you. Step 4. Fall in love with the process, not the outcome. Our society is obsessed with results. We focus on the destination, not the journey. Non-attachment invites us to flip that script. Pour your heart and energy into what you're doing, but release your tight grip on the results. Do your best work because you value the act of creating and contributing, not just because you're attached to the promotion or the paycheck. This is what Master Kuang Chin meant when he said, "You should do your best and not worry about the results." When you detach from the outcome, you free yourself up to be fully present, finding joy and meaning in the process itself. Failure loses its sting, and success just becomes a happy byproduct, not the entire point. Step 5. Question the self you're attached to. This might be the deepest level of the practice. Buddhism teaches that the fixed, separate self we are so attached to is actually an illusion. You are not your thoughts, your job, your successes, or your failures. You are the quiet, spacious awareness that observes all of those things. A practical way to feel this is through meditation. As you sit and just watch your thoughts and feelings come and go, without getting swept away by them, you start to realize they aren't you. They are just weather patterns passing through the vast sky of your consciousness. This insight is incredibly freeing. When you stop over-identifying with the temporary stories of your ego, the need to defend it, prove it, and please it just dissolves. You discover a deeper, more stable sense of being that isn't dependent on anything outside of you. So, what happens when you decide to let go? You don't become empty, you become full. You don't become a ghost floating through life, you become more alive than ever before. Your story, if you feel trapped by your own anxieties, doesn't have to end with you renouncing the world. It can end with you finally being able to truly live in it. You don't have to stop loving your partner. You can start loving them more purely, free from the fear of loss. You don't have to quit your job. You can start showing up to your work with a new passion, free from the crushing weight of expectation. Loosening your attachments doesn't create a void. It unlocks a profound state of inner peace and freedom that was there all along, just buried under layers of fear and clinging. The journey of non-attachment teaches us a revolutionary truth. The source of our suffering isn't the world, but our desperate grasp on it. And the key to our freedom isn't found in getting more, but in letting go. This path isn't about becoming cold or indifferent. It's about learning to love the world and everyone in it more deeply and more freely. It's about realizing that the true, unshakable peace you've been looking for doesn't come from controlling your life, but from finally allowing it to flow. The freedom you've been chasing isn't in some future destination. It's right here, in this present moment, waiting for you to simply open your hand. If this message resonated with you and you're ready to explore more ways to find freedom, give this video a like and subscribe for more journeys into inner peace. What's one attachment you struggle with letting go of? Maybe it's needing a certain person's approval, a career goal, or even a past version of yourself. Share it in the comments below. You'd be surprised how many of us are in the same boat, and just acknowledging it is the first step. Thank you for watching. May the peace be with you.